Okay, so there's something else we also need. What we kind of also maybe want is sort of a background thing. You don't see it that well, by the way, in the final render that I did, but we might as well add it in. Kind of also depends how you light it out. That thing is going to be quite easy. It's just going to be some grid. So let's just make a geometry. Call it background. Let's go in there. Just put a grid. And let's put our camera like this. Put this to ghosted maybe. And let's really crank this up. So let's maybe 200 by 75, something like that. Let's put it in the back. So the idea is just that there's some sort of a background element there, because of course our main circle cuts off a little bit. But the main circle is what we're going to be using for just the whole, also collisions and stuff. And then we kind of need a little bit of a background element to just give the idea that there's something in the back. But again, it's super dark in the render, so you don't really see it that well. So let's add some more divisions. So let's have a look at what this looks like. So probably some more divisions over here. And now let's add a mountain top. You could also do it manually, like manually give it some look. But let's up the element size and let's up the height. All right. And you can see, by the way, that I think everything is cutting off a little bit. Everything is clipping. So actually, when you select the camera in Houdini, so here's a camera, there's clipping here, so near and far clipping. So if I were to reduce the far clipping, you can see it starts clipping. So we could probably increase this and just decrease this. So now we're sure that nothing will clip. And let's make the size even a little bit bigger. What we could do is maybe copy and paste this and do another one with like a little bit more detail, something like this, but also going to add some materials on this later. Something like this, and I guess we could just put it centroid to origin, then negate these out. If you do that, then your transform will be in the center. So that's again, move centroid to origin and then zero these out. Then your transform will be in the center. And then we can use that to rotate it down a little bit. Right, let's rewind. By the way, if you don't know, with Control and then the up key on your keyboard, you can rewind your timeline. So same with the down key, and it goes to the last frame. So in case you didn't know, now you know. So anyway, now you can see we have some sort of a background element with some nice parallax going on. So parallax is the effect of stuff in the front moving faster than in the back. So, all right, now with that out of the way, let's start maybe doing our first dynamics. Or wait, before we do that, maybe let's first clean up our graph here a little bit, because it's starting to get a little bit messy. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, maybe let's clean this up. So let's also start maybe already making some render nodes for stuff that we know that we're going to render. So this background element, we know that we're going to render this. What I generally like to do is call stuff that we will be rendering RNDR underscore and then give it a name. So background. And the reason why I do this is because later, later, if we're doing this, then what we can do in a render node is that we can say that we want to render everything that's RNDR underscore and then a star. I cannot really type it in here. I can show you in if I go to the out network. Let's say if I make a redshift render prop here, go in here. If I go to objects, what I could say is that I don't want to render anything. I only want to render RNDR underscore star. And if I do that, then it will pick up on any object called RNDR and then with something appended after it. You can do the same with lights and with anything else, but it's just a good way to sort of organize your work. At least I like to do it like that. There might be other ways to organize it, but I think this is quite good. So then it won't matter if it's turned on or off in the view. If you force everything with RNDR, then everything will render. So we want to render that one, and let's maybe color code it as well. So let's make it green. So let's look at some other stuff that we want to render. So let's minimize this. So we have our landscape here. So we probably want to render this one as well, right? And I guess we could just use this directly because we don't really do any crazy stuff on this. By the way, no, because we are going to be shattering this, right? So we don't want to use this as a render node. So let's leave this one over here. Scattered rocks, well, these will be rendered. So what we can do is, I guess we could put this one over here. And again, it will become a little bit more clear why I pick some nodes and why I don't pick some nodes. But this one will be rendered while when we're going to do the dynamics, we're gonna take this one and then like make a hole and it blows some stuff away. So we're not gonna render this one directly, at least not yet. So let's just not do that one yet. RNDR scattered rocks. Also make it green. With Control B, by the way, you can maximize views. So, and let's make some boxes maybe. So, we can, by the way, we can delete this light because we will be using Redshift, right? So we're not going to use this light. So let's delete it. So let's make some boxes. So I guess let's call this bubbles or something. Maybe we will rename it later to something else, but render nodes. Call, maybe let's make here a box with effects. And we will also be rendering out this effect later. So what we could do is copy the out node here and already make a render node for that. So let's make a new geometry. Let's make object merge that into this object. RNDR, pyro. Put it in there, make it green. Camera will be there. Shot setup, like that. All right, so this is a little bit cleaner. And just let's make our motion effects thing over there. So quite clean. So with that out of the way, let's start doing the rigid body thing with the with this stuff blowing upwards. And then because that's what we need before we can do the pyro, right? Because we will need the velocity and the collisions from these rocks that will blow out in order to be able to do our pyro. So let's do our rigid bodies first.